All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another. Oh, crap. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Minecraft Therapy. I guess we might as well get this started. I thought this was going to be a test run and I was going to have time to go to the bathroom, but this creeper, that intro was too good to pass up, so just know I'm sacrificing my bladder for you this episode. All right. Uh, am I being weird enough? Am I being weird enough? Um, Today, first of all, welcome back, Minecraft Therapy. Applause, applause, applause. Yes, okay. First off, today I want to talk to you guys about anger. More specifically, my anger. Because something my friend said to me the other day got me thinking. She said something along the lines of, when we're angry at other people, we're really angry at ourselves, which I think is true. It's like something that's like, I've been thinking in my unconscious, but she said it out loud. So that's true, I think. And then I started thinking about, we started talking, and then I said, like, I wonder what I'm actually angry about, because I feel like, where I am in 2025 at this like juncture in my life, I feel like I think that I'm less angry than I actually am deep down inside in my soul. You know what I mean? Cuz I feel like my anger kind of peaked in 2021, which I think that is true. I think I'm less angry now in 2025 than I was in 2021. Um, and the reason I was so angry in 2021, I feel like, is because, I was going through a lot of angst, just graduated from college, first job. I felt very, like, angsty that I had been taught. My whole worldview was that, like, if you play by the rules, play fair, work hard, like everything works out. You know what I mean? And then I feel like post grad, in my post grad life, I started to realize what a lie that was. And that was just like that just made me very angry, because I felt like, well, if you had, like, why the hell then did I, like, do all this stuff to play by the rules, growing up, if none of it was ever going to matter? It felt like, like in 2021 I was 23, so it felt like, 21 of the 23s the 21 of the 23 years of my life that I had spent going through the educational system, like in the 2 years I spent outside the educational system, I started to realize, like, whoa, like, shit is different out here. And that was, I guess, the way I responded to that dissonance in feeling was through anger. I guess I could have responded to it in many ways. I could have responded to it with sadness, motivation, hopefulness. There was a bit of sadness. There was a little bit of all those things. But I feel like, a big way that I responded was like anger, and I feel like it was kind of like this deep internal anger, because I feel like I'm not a very expressive person. Like, I'm the type of person to just like hold it all in until I explode, which is very extremely unhealthy. I wouldn't recommend doing that shit. But I'm very repressive, so it was kind of like an interesting way to think about, like, an interesting new feeling for me in 2021 when I felt this like surge of anger, just like generally in my life. And then since 2021, I feel like I have gotten better at anger. Like, I feel like I remember even making a YouTube video about like anger around that time, and I feel like I kind of like recognized that I was like getting angry at that time, and then kind of consciously worked to not be so angry. And I think I am, once again, I think I'm less angry than my peak in 2021, but I feel like I'm still probably more angry than I'd like to be. And so I guess this video is just going to be me kind of exploring that and thinking about it. Um, what do I mean by like more angry than I want to be? Like, I feel like first of all, just like on a personal level, like I feel in my heart like a weight almost, like a darkness. Like I know that like there is a part of me inside that's like really just angry and like almost like vengeful. Like it wants to like take this anger out on like, something or someone. Like just it feels like it has to like come out, which is like, exactly what a serial killer might say. I'm not a serial killer though. Just want to make that clear. But yeah, it's like yeah, I feel like I have like a shorter, like I'm not as patient as I would like to be. I'm not like as like diplomatic as I would like to be, for lack of a better term. Um, I'm not as like a pleasant person to be as I'm when you if you meet me in real life, I'm not like, hey guys, look at me, I'm so freaking happy, blah blah blah. I'm all these things I feel like are related to an anger I have in my heart, and that's like, all these things I'm not are once again more like personal. Even like I'm not even talking about how like um this stuff is like manifested outwards. It's more like even like I'm just like vengeful like at myself, you know what I mean? And like impatient with myself and like all these things, and I feel like and like unpleasant with myself. And I feel like the cause of all these things, or like maybe not the cause, but a cause of these things, is like how angry I am. And then, if we factor in like how the anger manifests, if we start to include how the anger manifests outward, then that's also really not good, because like then I'm getting in arguments with my neighbors, like I mentioned in a previous video. I'm like, I'm not as pleasant. I'm not as pleasant to be around like people I know too. I'm not as patient with people I know. You know what I mean? So it affects not just myself but people around me, and I would like to improve that shit for like my own sake, and like really for my own sake. I feel like, but also it'll have a nice side effect of um, maybe making the world a better place. Who knows? I'm looking at the man in the mirror type shit. Um, but yeah, I guess that is kind of the feeling of anger that I experience. And like I said, I feel like I'm more aware of it. Like in 2021, the anger was like so it probably wasn't like more powerful back then, but I was just like not used to it. You know what I mean? And like I would like get really triggered by like long grocery store lines or whatever. And now it's like I have a better handle on it, where it's like, all right, the long grocery store line is like not a big deal. I could just like calm down, be patient. It's okay. But yeah, it's like the feeling I have now is not as like dramatic as it was back then, but it's still there. Um, and yeah, I mean, where does it come from? Because I feel like um, I want to know where it comes from so that I could maybe address the problems. Like I said, I feel like I know where it came from in 2021, which is that like I was just like kind of it was like a boiling over of frustration that like, oh, the world is like a big spreadsheet, and like it actually matters more whether like you're a straight white male than like anything else. Um, you know, that shit was frustrating to me. And then like I got over it by like I feel like taking more agency over my life. Like I quit the job. I like started doing the YouTube thing, which like I actually cared about and wanted to do, even if the world was like, it's stupid and don't do it. You know what I mean? Like like realizing that um, I didn't need to like the world can upset me, but like I don't need to not that I don't need to interact with the world, but like I don't need to like constantly engage in like the things that upset me because there's always going to be things. Unfortunately, we live in a world of upsetting things, so there's no like escaping that. So I feel like I kind of like learned to accept it and control what I could control the controllables. So I would say now my anger is not necessarily due as much to the unfairness of the world. Even as I said that out loud, like I know that's not true because like I said, I'm so fucking triggered. Like this is probably like the 10th video I've mentioned this. You could probably make like a funny like, compilation of me complaining about people at stop signs, but I'm so fucking pissed at people at stop signs. Like just yesterday, someone tried to fucking I was like waiting at a stop sign, a car saw me or like either the person driving the car saw me or like purposefully chose not to see me. You know what I mean? You can't be driving your car here and like not seeing me at the stop sign. But like once again, someone tried to kill me at the stop sign. And that is upsetting to me. And maybe that's like a new like maybe that is like my anger is like but once again, like I can't be angry at shit like people not stopping at stop signs because otherwise I'm going to be angry like my whole life and the world is not going to be changed. And then it's like why are you even angry? You might as well be angry that like the sun is like hot or like or you're angry that like dinosaurs aren't alive anymore because dinosaurs are really cool. It's like, all right, you could be angry about it, but uh, that's about as much as you can do. You're not actually going to be able to change what you're complaining about. Um, so yeah, um, I feel like part of my anger is probably from like unfairness about like perceived unfairness in the world or whatever. Even though like I live a pretty privileged life, I guess. But I feel like there's more to it than that. Like what like I guess like what I could be angry at is myself, right? Because I like is my life perfect? No, I'll tell you that much. Like I don't live the perfect life. And like maybe like I am really hard on myself and sometimes I feel I like feeling bad and like being hard on myself and like being angry because like that's all I seem to do, you know what I mean? All I seem to do is like get upset about things and like get upset about the election and politics and like spend all my time talking about why the American dream is cooked and I hate Stanford and da 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 da. It's like you know, there's a lot that's not good about the world. And once again, it's like I can choose not to interact with him. That brings up a whole nother question of like, is it good to like bury your head in the sand? You know what I mean? Because like, um, it's like me being like, well, I'm not, I haven't experienced racism recently, so I don't need to care about racial equality. That's like kind of what the world is bad, but you don't need to pay attention to all of it. That's like the worst case version of saying that, right? So I'm not saying that you shouldn't care about the world being bad. Um, but back to what I was saying, I feel like my life isn't perfect, and I feel like I'm very hard on myself for that. And it's like, and the feeling of being hard on myself is almost like what I'm used to, because that is like what, I don't know what the hell is wrong, like, wrong with me in quotation marks. Yes, I know that, there's nothing wrong with any of us, and we're all very special, beautiful people. But like, I don't know what's wrong with me where like I'm always like feeling pretty bad, and then feeling bad is like normalized to me. Maybe that is um, why I'm so angry. It's just because I'm used to being angry. You know what I mean? So that like it just becomes my default emotion, and then even though it no longer serves me, I'm still angry. Um, I feel like it's kind of like when I get like stuck in a habit that's bad for me. Like I'll be like, you know, playing a game repeatedly, and then it's like, I don't even know why I'm playing this game because I don't like it. It's just like a habit I formed. Um, doesn't apply to Minecraft though. I love farming in Minecraft. That's come on. The young adults yearn for the farm. You know what I mean? No one wants to be in a fucking office. We want to fucking be in the fields digging up wheat. Um, but yeah, I like I said, my like maybe it's like anger is just what I'm used to, so that's why I feel it all the time. But that's not a very satisfying answer. I mean, like the most like obvious like ooh look at me, I'm Sigmund Freud answer is like I'm angry at myself, right? I'm angry at myself for not being perfect. Maybe this isn't the life I imagined for myself, and now I'm upset at myself for like, I got myself in this situation. Um, I feel like maybe there's a hint of that. I feel like I'm still working on like accepting myself and like not hating myself. I feel like once again that feeling of hating myself maybe peaked in like 2020, 2019 or something. And since then we've gotten better at that, but still it's like something I'm working on. So, I mean, yeah, that's the most obvious answer is that like I'm angry at myself, but I don't think that's it because I like when I'm angry, I feel like I'm angry because like I feel like the world is full of idiots. And like you know, obviously like that's maybe I need some self-awareness cuz only an idiot would think that the world is full of idiots, right? Um but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's very it's very when I get angry, like I feel like I'm angry at other at the world for being like a stupid ass world. You know what I mean? I'm angry at the world for like forcing us all to like pretend we're happy in like in like concrete land when we're not. Um, but like I said, it's like what am I? Oh crap! Oh my god! You gotta be kidding me, bro. You gotta be kidding me. I feel like I'm upset at the world for like being imperfect, but once again, that's like kind of a stupid thing to get upset at the world about because yeah, the world's imperfect. Maybe you just gotta suck it up and get over it. Um, yeah, like I don't know, like what type of like life situation would I be where I'm not angry? Probably one just where like I'm like happy, you know what I mean? Or like I just live like my perfect life where like, all the stuff people who want a perfect life have, like whatever food I want, amazing living space, um, a beautiful woman in my life, like that would probably make me less angry. So then it makes me wonder if my anger is more just like a product of like frustration with like it's not even like about like these like deep and meaningful things I'm saying, like the world is messed up. Maybe it's just more of a frustration with like my life, which I feel like is kind of valid, right? Isn't that like why they're saying that like men, like all the freaking, there's been like so many articles coming out about like why men are like falling behind women, and like men in modern American society are adrift, is because basically we're losers. Um, I don't think I'm a loser, by the way. Gotta come on, gotta have more confidence than that. Gotta believe in myself more than that. That's just a joke, guys. But yeah, I mean that is certainly a reason why maybe I would be frustrated, and that frustration certainly can easily turn to anger. Um, but I'd like to think that my anger isn't so base. Like hopefully I think if I knew that was the for real reason I was angry, I would that would be kind of easy to solve. I feel like then I would just like get drunk all the time or something and then fix my anger. So I don't think that's it. I guess it's more just like I don't know what it is. Like I think about Noah Kahan's there. I'm gonna pronounce it correctly. Noah Kahan. He said in Stick Season. He says something something. Trying to work out the darkness I inherited from dad. I feel like that's maybe it, bro. Like sometimes there's the darkness inside you and you don't know where it comes from or what the meaning of it is, but it's just inside you and you kind of have to like work through it. Um, even if you can never truly know it. I don't know. What am I angry about? Like the world sucks. What have I come up with? Like maybe the world sucks. Maybe I suck. Maybe my life sucks. Like all these things. Like I guess anger is like a reaction towards like bad stuff, right? Like bad always draws out bad emotions. You know what I mean? Like when I'm upset at something else in my life, I'm more likely to like freak out at like people who don't stop at stop signs. And then when I'm chilling, I'm more like, crazy world we live in. that. So I guess the anger is just like a compounding, it's all connected, it all compounds. And there's a lot to be angry about, certainly. I guess maybe if we don't even like find like, maybe it's a futile search to try and figure out like the one thing that makes me angry. There's lots of shit. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. But there's lots of shit to be angry about in the world. That's for sure. Like and there's lots of things that suck and are bad. And I guess it's more about like even if I don't know why people not stopping at the stop sign triggers me so much. Sorry, sheep, for punching you. Even I don't know the exact reason why. Like I can identify that it's an anger. It's coming from deep bubbling rage inside me. Maybe it's a rage that has more to do with like original sin and like the fragility of the human ego than like anything specifically wrong with me. I mean, anger, he was one of the little dudes in Inside Out, right? So I'm assuming, you know, Inside Out taught me that all my emotions are necessary, right? So um certainly like anger, like sometimes I feel like anger is like nothing. It's like it's only a bad emotion, right? Because like I don't like when I'm angry. I feel like there's always like a more peaceful way I can like go about things. But like it is like a basic human emotion, right? So I feel like it certainly it certainly serves its purpose. Like in 2021 when I reached like my peak anger, I feel like my anger definitely served a purpose in that like it let me know that like the way my life was going and the way I was being treated was like not cool. You know what I mean? And that anger certainly helped me to get out of that situation. And like, you know, once again, even though I know getting upset at people at the stop sign is kind of like a futile quest, you're still not going to gaslight me into thinking that people shouldn't stop at stop signs. You know what I mean? I feel like the anchor at that is it does come from like a righteous place, which is that you shouldn't try to kill me at the stop sign. But at the same time, it's like, well, I cannot control other people. So it's like I got to let it go. I got to let it go. And I feel like is that is maybe the takeaway, is that I'm angry. There's lots to be angry about. There's probably some justified stuff to be angry about, some unjustified stuff to not be angry about. But at the end of it, it's like I have to be, I guess being an adult is being in control of my emotions, like recognizing when my emotions are valid, when they're not. Like I said, like even though I'm angry a lot, I feel like I try to not explode, even though I might fail at that sometimes. I try not to, and like maybe that is the best I can do, is that like just like recognize the emotions there, but also not let it like take over and ruin my life. Not repress it. Certainly, if I feel angry, I don't think the answer is to be like, everything's fine, guys, I'm so not angry. But maybe the solution is to hop on Minecraft and then just ramble about it and then realize that you don't even know what you're upset about. You're just angry at the world, maybe, or maybe, this is only the first of many, many deep dives into the psyche of your brain where you'll finally unlock the meaning to all your childhood trauma and anger and then reach full enlightenment and then just evaporate into nirvana. But until then, I guess I can try and regulate, try to take deep breaths, like just try like the practical shit to like control my anger. You know what I mean? Like I find that like taking deep breaths and like being aware of my breath and like breathing, like it just helps me so much to be grounded. Like another quote I like, or something I've been telling myself, is like to really be in the present, stay grounded in the present moment, because a lot of stuff is anxiety, I feel. Something I learned recently, or a different way to think about the world I learned recently, is that anxiety is when, or fear is when there's a clear present threat in front of you that you need to respond to. And anxiety is when you're worried about all the threats that might happen. And I feel like, I can get very anxious. So breathing, just trying to stay grounded, trying to realize that, my emotions, the chemical things that are my emotions are not exactly who I am. You know what I mean? I am a person that exists outside the pull of whatever emotion I'm feeling in the moment. So all these things just try to ground me. And I feel like I feel like, that's the conclusion maybe to that I can help it, can help me at least get me through the next week until I come back to another Minecraft therapy session, and then fully unlock the next level of my psyche until I no longer have to do the breathing exercises. I just let all the negativity of the world wash off me like waves. And then when I walk into the crosswalk, all the cars trying to hit me, they literally bounce off me because I have reached a different plane of existence. Amen. All right. That's an episode talking about why I'm so angry, why I'm still so angry. That's it. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you guys are chilling out there. And let's watch a beautiful Minecraft sunset together. after a hard day of work on the farm. Hello, sheep. You're free. You are a free sheep. Be free, Mr. Sheep. Wow, look at this beautiful sunset. You know, nothing, it ain't much, but it's an honest day's work. Working on my virtual farm in Minecraft. And the moon's rising too. All right, that's an episode. Stay safe, stay sane. I'll catch you next time. Peace.